family, God bless you wherever you are tuning or viewing our show. That's right, it is time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Today's show is not going to be, it's going to be one of many. I have joining me, her name is Devorah Crable. Let me tell you, I had to do a virtual pause for the cause, if you would say that, because she is busy. She is a media personality and advocate for many great things across this country for many years, and we want to welcome her back to our program. We were previously, when we were working with the African American Festival of the Arts, we were together, but we're here now. And it's
Yeah.
now it is boots on the ground season. Hello, hello, hello. Boots on
Boots
the
on the
ground.
ground. Yes,
Boots on the
yes, yes.
ground. So what we're going to do is I would like for you just to reintroduce yourself to our viewing and listening audience and tell them who you are. And then we're going to get into your great organization, which is topping the charts in making sure voting is protected and understood. If you would, go ahead and take it away.
Well, absolutely. As you well know, maybe some of you do know me, maybe in a different capacity, talking to celebrities. I am a broadcast journalist. Many might know me from talk radio here in Chicago. And early on in my career in Washington, D.C., I was on WRC News Talk Radio. Doing news and won a couple of awards there for the work that I did with the March on Washington with Reverend Jackson. But here in Chicago, hosting the Ebony Jet Showcase, interviewing all the celebrities all around the world. Even we went out of America, and then found my way to seminary, and then found my way to the African Festival of the Arts. Found my way to the City Colleges of Chicago, where we did just incredible work there, and really have had just an absolute joy and pleasure of being able to work with Miss Clara Hubbard, doing this very important work of voter registration in this dire time of need. And the initiative that we're pushing forward now in this year, the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, that we are encouraging everyone within the sound of our voices to register to vote, check your voter status, make sure your polling place is exactly where you think it is,
Mm-hmm.
and share the word with everyone you know to register to vote as first a statement that you believe in this democracy and representative government. And then two, that you are prepared and vote ready. Because one thing we know, Clara, is that this president, our commander in chaos, as I like to say,
Mm-hmm. Very well.
threatening. He's made threats on the voting, your eligibility and ability to vote. And he's just breaking down the structures that we have known as pillars that have kept our government strong and moving forward. And he's just dismantling everything. Hopefully, by your registration, 100% registration across the country, that we can send a resounding message: do not touch or mess with our right to vote.
Amen. So let me
Yes,
do this. We're going to dig into something, and I've been putting this up. I don't have the countdown calendar yet, but
yes.
check this out, if I could.
Okay.
We are literally, our next election,
Mhm.
presidential election, is November 7th, 2028.
Mhm.
We have, as of today, 1,125 days.
Yes,
We got work to do.
we got a lot of work to do.
We
And
got a
then
lot of
coming
work.
up in November 2026 is we will be having our midterm elections.
Mm-hmm.
So those are very, very important and critical, because that's when you can vote the down ballot and make sure that your local elected officials are offering you the kind of representation that you desire. And we'll start teeing up those individuals that will be going into Congress. Please understand that if nothing else, if he doesn't do something really, really crazy and chaotic, which I don't put it past him, that his structured move will be to set himself up so that he's able to hold another constitutional convention where
Mm.
he will legitimately be able to wreak chaos and in our country and really turn things upside down and upend everything as we have come to know and love our democracy to be. So it's
Absolutely.
important,
So
that
let's
you
do
get that
this.
registered. Go ahead.
That's
Yes.
right.
Mhm.
So let's do this. We're going to now dive into your the term alone, know your power,
That's right. That's
is
right.
it's our power. It's our tell us about it. I want to say my own version, but I want you to
You know, it's
define know your power.
how it came about was years ago, and when I was with the National Alliance for Market Developers, and that was one of the first Black professional organizations that identified individuals in the marketing, advertising trades that were opening up the doors to the Black market, money market in America. So white
Mm-hmm.
corporate America finally discovered there's money out there in those Black hills. And
Mm-hmm.
so they were bringing Black urban professionals in to identify that money and identify ways of being able to tap into that marketplace. So that's how this whole campaign of Know Your Power got started, was know your buying power, knowing that we have welled over $3 billion, $1 trillion now,
Mm-hmm.
and spending income that makes a critical difference, which is why earlier this year, when you started seeing a lot of those boycotts that were happening, were becoming very, very effective because our money does make a difference, as does your vote. It makes a difference. But here's the interesting thing, Clara. A lot of people don't even really appreciate how important that vote is, and how more important it is for you to be registered.
Yes.
If you are not registered to vote, your no vote doesn't count. So you might be one of those saying, I'm not going to vote for anything. I don't believe in this government. I'm just disenchanted straight across the board. If you are not registered to vote, that no vote does not count, which is why over the next 10, 12 months leading up to next November 2026, I want to register as many people as possible. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. I want you in the game. I
Mm-hmm.
want all Americans in the game. That's my end game. Inside of those conversations, you will find, hopefully, you will find a compelling mitigating reason to vote your conscience, to vote what you believe is the right thing to do for this country and for this nation. But the
Absolutely.
first step is for you to be eligible to vote, for you to even have a voice. If you're not registered, you are silenced. And this is not the time or the season for you to be silenced.
That shook me that
Mm,
we would be silenced.
hmm.
And unfortunately, in our communities with less votes is where we're hurt the most
Exactly.
because we don't have representation or we
Hmm.
did not vote. Not
Yeah.
all, I'm just saying in some regards. Some of our communities are lacking thereof, i.e., I thought about food deserts, i.e., clinical trials or pharmacy resources and grocery stores, those essential things. Sometimes because we have not shown up. What
Hmm.
kind of voice do we have in our community?
And I think that when I will be receiving an award, I'm so grateful for this from
Yay.
the great fraternity, the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity here in Chicago, the Epsilon chapter. And they have a very strong voter initiative going on right now. And what their mission is, and I join them in this mission, is to change the voting culture in America. I am of the belief, over the work that I've done over the past year and a half, that there is a high level of voter illiteracy and civic engagement illiteracy that is preventing us from really understanding the value and the merit of our ballot, and why we need to be registered to vote and to be proactive in voting. And to understand that that ballot, once you go to the polls and drop that ballot in the box, that's just the beginning of the process. Actually, that's the second stage of the process. The first stage, we see all those people walking around saying, sign this petition so that I can get on the
Mm-hmm.
ballot. Please understand, when you sign those petitions, it is not an endorsement. It is not saying that you are voting for that candidate. It is just saying what I'm asking you to do to register to vote. It gets them in the game. It allows them to be in a position to court your vote. It allows them to be on that ballot to say that the people in this area want to hear what I have to say and how I can represent them in the best manner possible. So that's where it all starts. We activate that democratic process by signing off on those petitions and allowing those individuals to get into the political game. Then the next phase is for you to go and listen, do your research, hear
Mm-hmm.
what they have to say. understand what it is that they're going to deliver for you, and make sure they are in alignment with what your needs and wants are in your community. Then you go on election day and you drop that ballot. You drop
Right.
that ballot in the box, and that's your voice to say who you want to vote for, who will be the best person to represent your interests. And then it's not over yet. Now you have to hold those elected officials accountable.
Accountable. Yes, ma'am.
You got to go and show up on their doorstep. You have to go to those town hall meetings. You
And
have to go
constituent nights.
and to those constituent nights. Yes. And even when you're not there for constituent night, you show up at their office and say, listen, I demand that you listen to what we have to say, and you hold them accountable. And if they don't listen to you, you know what you got to do on the next
Hmm.
day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's key is you cleared so many things, but one key thing is we're getting that phase right now is where we're going to some of our shopping centers or just in certain meetings, and people are saying, "Can you sign this petition?" And we don't know that.
Hmm. Yeah.
We're presuming we
I've
don't
actually,
really know that. Yeah.
right. They will turn up their nose and say, I'm not voting for you. It
Yep.
is the vote. All it says is it opens up the democratic process for them to be in the game so that they
Yes.
can go and raise the funds so that they can court your vote and tell you who they are, what they stand for, and share their platform. That's what that platform is all about that you hear people
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
To share their platform with you and make sure it is in alignment with what it is that you want, need, and desire.
Oh wow, that's so. Thank you so much for that clarity because
Yeah.
they're everywhere. Those persons who are volunteering,
Yep.
let's be clear, their
Yep.
time to get their person on the ballot.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
we have no idea. I promise you, I learned that today.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I'm not, I have done it now. I'm clear. I have done it. But now I'm more educated. So it makes sense. And thank you so much for that clarity. So what
Mm.
we're going to do now is we're going to tap into one of our videos that you share with our broadcast. And this is about the 1786 bill.
Yes.
All right.
This is the Senate Bill 1786.
Fantastic.
Our great iconic civil rights leader, the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., for years, for over 50 years, he has been saying, our students need to be civically engaged. They need to have civic education.
Mm-hmm.
And, and interesting, this is the voter education week that we are in the midst of.
Yes.
So he wanted every student in the state of Illinois, when they graduate, to walk across that stage with a ballot, with the voter registration card in one hand and their diploma in the other.
Hmm.
So they graduate from high school prepared and understanding what it means to perform their civic duty and to be civically engaged. We want to have a well educated electorate. This is the next future generation that is coming behind us. And let's be clear, if our current president is wanting to rewrite the Constitution, it is this generation that will be living under whatever is created.
Mm.
We want this generation to have a voice and a say and to be the architects of
Yes.
what's next. So,
Yes.
this is why it is so important for individuals to get in touch with all the young people that you have in your life and make sure that they understand what this whole democratic process is all about, and to become informed and to share your stories. Claire,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things I'm doing with the Voter Rights Act commemorative mission during this season is to encourage people to share your stories. Share your stories about voting. If you were there and of voting age when the Voting Rights Act was enacted, share those stories. Pull all your young people in and hear their stories and
Yeah.
give validity to their stories about what it's like to vote, or even if they made the choice not to vote. Engage the conversation so
Yes.
they understand that their true power lies in them being proactive and actively engaged in this democratic process. So, going back to your original question, that is what Know Your Power is all about. It's understanding the power that you have individually and collectively to make a huge impact to create the life, the communities that we truly desire.
Mm-hmm.
And that will happen inside of these conversations.
That's right. I'm excited because we're gonna talk further because I have a mission
Oh,
for
go ahead.
Civics 101.
Okay, there you go. And
We got to
and
bring it back.
everyone needs to be involved with that, Claire.
Yeah,
Everybody
everyone.
can
And
have.
I will tell you the best part of the campaign season last year is I finally went canvassing.
Mm-hmm.
Whew,
Amazing, isn't it?
it was amazing. We went to Michigan. I
Yes.
was with Commissioner Donna Miller, who was one of our leaders, and we were with, let me say,
Mm-hmm.
the energy, but also the impact that it made on me as a voter to really go even harder.
Mm-hmm.
Gathering people together, we drove down to Michigan and we went to an office and we were given assignments, and it was just something to see
Mm-hmm.
and to participate in. Also, what was most critical was that when we got off the vehicle, we went to people's homes
Mm-hmm.
and we knocked on doors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
know.
one lady said,
Mm-hmm.
"Wow, I
Mm-hmm.
see this on TV, but nobody's been to my neighborhood."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she said, "I really think I want to do early voting." It But that impact, you know what I mean? Just you do see it on TV.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
knocking, but
Right.
she said, "You are in my neighborhood." And Commissioner Donna Miller, I had to give her a shout out because she held us down because some of us were new. She's been in there before, uh, campusing before. And she said, "Look, you're going to go and you say, 'Hey, my name is,' and I came from Illinois. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want to make sure that you are prepared to express your right to vote. Do you know where your polling place is? Can we give you some information?" And we kept moving. We
Yeah,
didn't say vote for this person, da da da. We just said, "Hey,
how
we're
about
here."
that?
And
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so encouraging. And I literally, one lady said, "Look, I see this on TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now you're on my street. I can say
Yeah,
this is really, really does happen."
yeah.
And I was so I was so overwhelmed for her reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But
whoo, this does happen.
here's a golden nugget in your story, and thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Move that individual to action.
Mm-hmm.
You move that woman from her home down to the voter registration booth,
Yeah,
wherever
yeah.
it is that she went to register to vote, and then she took action. And this is the magic of us sharing our stories. This
Mm-hmm.
is the magic of one-on-one tactile in the
Yeah.
same room together interaction. I don't want this to happen in a huge, big town hall meeting where voices get lost. She
Mm-hmm.
responded to you because it was one on one.
Yes.
You were
Yes.
right there with her. You shook her hand. You touched. You physically touched.
Mm-hmm.
And in this space and time, that is what is going to be required. We have become so acclimated to being detached and having the kind of conversations like we're having now
Mm-hmm.
over Zoom. And we're getting a little more sophisticated about that. But what is missing is that human direct
Yes.
connection, which is
Exactly.
why in this campaign that we're launching, and I want to thank you for coming on board, and we'll be doing some partnership conversations with Senior Talk,
Mm-hmm.
is that I want small groups of no more than 15 to 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
I want them in the communities where people see the people that are walking in their neighborhoods. They see at the grocery store. They
Yeah.
see them at the laundromat. You see them over in the park. I want you to be in conversation with those individuals so that we're able to heighten the level of accountability that is required to move people to action, and where
Absolutely.
people can really feel that they were seen and they were heard, they were valued, and they were respected. And in that environment, we can create another opportunity for transformation, which is
All
what
right.
this campaign is about.
All right.
This is our democracy. The through our vote is
Mm.
where the greatest level, the greatest power of transformation can occur. But let's get back to the people factor of voting.
Mm. That's a good one. Okay, so we're now going to go to our video.
Oh yeah,
Um,
well, I went off track, didn't I? Well,
that's
this
all
is
right.
with
It works.
Reverend Jackson. We have Senator Robert Peters, who said, "Listen, I'll stand with you in moving this bill through the General Assembly," and we're so excited that he came on board to do that. And what I
Yes.
want to share with you is the day that he committed in front of Reverend Jesse Jackson to support this bill and to do everything in his power to make it happen.
Absolutely. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be right back after this beautiful message. Everyone stay tuned.
so much, Senator. Thank you. So I'm going to go through the budget, and then I'm going to go through some of the things we're hoping to get done legislatively around transit and around property taxes. And then we're going to talk about a bill that's important to the legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson, which is the Reverend Jesse Jackson Youth Voter Engagement Act, and the hope that we can get this done in election omnibus. Rainbow Push, everybody give a round of applause. Legal Women Voters Chicago, Legal Women Voters Illinois, Chicago Women Take Action, Citizen Action Illinois, GOTV for Teens, Know Your Power Vote, Chicago Votes, Common Cause Illinois, Change Illinois, She Votes Illinois, Chicago Urban League, Real Men Charities Incorporated, the Mayor Harold Washington Legacy Committee. We are this close to being able to get this bill in an elections omnibus. My hope is that this year we can get this legacy bill done, because we need to get it done. Our young people need to be civically engaged, and it is our job in these roles to make sure that we're leading people to be civically engaged, and we are that close, and the organizing done on this has been fantastic. Let me tell you something, Dr. Roberts texts me at least every week to make sure I'm on top of it. I'm always giving her as many updates as I can to get this done, and I believe fundamentally we are that close that we'll make it happen. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Senator Peters.
Yes.
Whew.
Direct Senator Peters, yes, we're so thankful for his support.
Mhm.
And here's what we really need to have happen, Claire. Today is Reverend Jackson's birthday, right?
Yes.
We celebrated it on Saturday at the headquarters here at Operation Push, but his real birthday is today. I invite, challenge, encourage everyone to go to my website at kypvote.us. That's knowyourpowervote.us. If you scroll down to the red section, you will see a link that says take action. I want you to go there, press that button, and put in your name, your address. The elected officials that represent you right now will pop up. We have a prepared letter of support that all you have to do is hit the send button, and it will go straight to them so that they will know that you are in support of all the students in Illinois graduating with a registration card for voting and their diploma. We are over, the coalition chair, Dr. Roberts, has a goal of 1,000 letters. Right now, we're about 700.
Mhm.
I want to reach that 1,000 goal today.
Yeah.
Let's reach that 1,000 goal today. Let's make this happen. And this is what you call coalition building. This is how you can see the evidence of the power of your action. And in a similar way, your vote matters in the same way.
Absolutely. So let's do this. Let's look at our other video that
This
will also
Dr.
give us.
Roberts?
Yeah. Let's get that video rolling and share because she's a dynamo.
She's a dynamo. I mean, I can't tell you, she's a pit bull when it comes to getting the job done. And she is relentless and making sure that this piece of legislation honoring the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. for all the work that he's been doing in civil rights and this movement in our lives have been transformed because of him. Let's do this in the name of Reverend Jackson to demonstrate our love, respect for him.
Let me just say this before the video. You just put something on my mind. This would be the biggest gift of thank you could give him.
Yeah.
On his birthday. And continue prayers for him. But let me just say, this could be the biggest gift. Going to kypvotes.us and scroll down. But we're going to hear from Ms. Roberts. But I just thought that would be a good gift.
Yes.
That we can reach that 1,000-mile mark and go beyond it because we got room. It's not a limit. We got room. But let's get to this video. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For the last 50 years, I've spent time working with the Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson, the founder of this organization. One of the things that he made very clear during those years, that every student should graduate with a voter registration card and a diploma. So to honor his legacy and his hard work, Senate Bill 1786 in the state of Illinois is named after him. This bill will allow high school students to vote during their high school day. Principals will provide the opportunity for them to vote, and pre-general election, they will have the opportunity to register to vote. This is important because doing my work with Devorah Crable, who's standing next to me in her organization, Know Your Power, Know Your Vote, I discovered, reading a report from the Chicago Board of Election, that most of the students who registered in Chicago were from the North Side and downtown. So by mathematics, you can see most of the minority students and students living outside of these boundaries had limited access to the voting registration process. So we need your help. We need your help to get this bill passed. You can take action to let them know that you want this bill passed for the students and the citizens of the state of Illinois.
So I speak to the young people. Your vote has power. Your vote has power. We have heard your interest and your concern about violence, racism, and the climate. So we're here to ask you to step forth and to exert your power. We want you to vote, because in voting, you bring about a change in our world. If you want to change in your community, you want to change in your neighborhood, you want better schools, you want better teachers, you want facilities in your community where your parents don't have to go 5 and 6 miles to get to a drugstore, and all the things that came out and was unveiled through COVID. We need you to vote.
Yeah.
Oh, very well done.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Dr. Roberts, just so that you know who she is in the world, she is the former deputy chief superintendent of the Chicago Public Schools. So she knows what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so where we are right now, as I said earlier, this is the generation that will be paving the way and being the architects of the Constitution that we will live under going forward. So let's make sure they're prepared, well educated, they understand the task at hand, and understand the spirit behind that vote. There's so many in our community that did die. They died. All those people who came through the civil rights movement, who were, marching, they were sprayed with those fire hoses. They at the sit-ins and the sit-downs and all the protest marches, they were there.
Yeah.
A lot of kids are removed from all that history because we don't talk about it.
Yes.
Now is the time to talk about it and share where you were in that moment in time. And a lot of times, Clara, as a journalist, we take a look at the big events and we lose focus of the fact that wherever you are, whoever you are, there's never benign engagement.
Mm-hmm.
You were someplace. If you were standing on the corner just watching, you were there. You were an observer. You can talk. And just by the fact of you being there and being seen, you probably impacted someone else.
Yes. I can tell you this. This
Mhm.
2 years maybe,
Mhm.
I went to Selma
Yeah. Wow.
to walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Mm.
There is a spiritual moment that happens to any person that's walking over that bridge.
Mhm.
And one of my heroes is John Lewis. Oh Lord.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like, for some reason, that is one of my heroes. And
Yeah.
having read his story and just the advocacy, and I'm created Senior Votes Matter in honor of his legacy, because older population, they're vulnerable. But a lot of older Americans are not registered to vote either.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we got work to do.
Yes, and one of the things that he did say is that it's up to each generation
Yeah.
to do their part. Each
Yes.
generation to do their part. When they made the Constitution, it was never designed as a static, document. It's an organic, alive,
Mhm.
living document. And it is supposed to evolve. It is supposed to change. It's supposed to be amended. That's why we have amendments.
Yes.
So that it can respond to the needs of now. And that's why we have to stay on top of our game as
Mhm.
citizens,
Yeah.
so that we will continue to have a say in the matter of how this government, this country will be run. The minute you pull out of it, you present yourself as a sacrificial lamb, essentially, and letting people do to you as they will. not
Yeah.
as you will.
Yes.
So we really want to impress now in particular because we're seeing the drastic impact of us not being engaged and involved. So we've been sitting, resting on our laurels, if you will. Okay. I'm really
Mm-hmm.
taking a lot for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking everything will just go along and we were going along to get along. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Because other individuals are seeing this opportunity. They have seized this opportunity to create what they want to create, which is not in our best interest. So now
So
it's the time for us to wake up.
that's
Be
right. So let me do this. We're going to close out. I want you to take the turn from First Lady Michelle Obama's speech. She
Mhm.
said, do something.
Yep. That was my
She said,
motivation.
you looking around, do something. There is something every person
Mhm.
can do. And as Ms. Crable said, when we're out and about, we're just asking you to register to exercise your right. We don't care what party you affiliated with, because I know I'm nonpartisan as well. But
Mhm.
we just want to make sure that for the sacrifice of those who have gave
Mhm.
and those who are still on the battlefield. And sometimes, like I told a couple of people, when you think of persons to help with your campaigns, we're gonna put that out there now. I can say that on the mic.
Mhm.
Consider the older population.
Mhm.
They know what our philanthropic and what our organizations were in the day,
Yeah.
i.e., NAACP, i.e., Chicago Urban League, and so forth. Make them volunteers. They
Mhm.
answer the phone. They love the phone.
Mhm.
They may answer the phone. Some of them are computer savvy. There are many options to use the older population who are the boots and roots of the organizations and campaigning.
Yes.
Y'all,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying we all afford the youth. Let's get it. But
Mhm.
the older population, make them a part of the process.
Mhm.
I can guarantee you, your organization, your campaign, they could possibly bring knowledge to the young persons that may be voting. There may be a conversation in that office to see a better option or
Mhm.
another way to look at some way to go out and canvas for the community. There's so many options, but do not deny the population that I call people getting better with age. Do not deny them the opportunity to work with your organization. That,
Absolutely.
that's my statement. And what is your closing remark? Because we go this we'll come back to the
Okay.
next one.
All
But
this means is that we have to come together and do it again.
yes.
And I do want to acknowledge all of our seniors that are watching and listening, that you are the powerhouse, the most reliable voters. You show up and you do it on a regular basis, and we can count on you.
Mm-hmm.
So the invitation now is to share the knowledge that you have with the younger generations and to make sure they are fully empowered to do what you already know, that
Mm-hmm.
our vote is important and it does matter. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you mentioned Michelle Obama. That is how I got started on this whole initiative. I was there at the presidential, the DNC, when she said, everybody has to do something.
Something, yes.
And it doesn't have to be a big thing. What we're talking about right now, if you go to my website at knowyourpowervote.us, and right there in the first part of that section, you will see a red tab. If you hit that tab, it will take you to every online voter registration site in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do your Zoom calls, right? On
Yeah.
this. Send
Yes.
that link out, have a Zoom call, have everybody you know in this country, and I know
Yeah.
it's a whole bunch of people, to
Yeah.
just take 15 minutes and have fun with this and register
Yes.
to vote. Your numbers matter and your vote matters. The registration makes you eligible for your voice to be heard in this democracy.
Yes.
So I want to thank you, Clara, and I'm so glad to have you as a partner in this great work, this very important work, as you said at the top of the show, the boots on the ground.
Yes.
And
Boots
we
on the ground.
need more boots on the ground. So I look forward to being out there Trojan with you to make sure that we're able to preserve our democracy. As we heard time and time again, and I think it went over like a 747, we didn't get it. Now we're feeling it. We are experiencing it, but we still have a say in the matter. Get
Absolutely.
active, get involved, and do something.
I do
I
so.
refuse to succumb to what someone else says that they want me to do. I'm going to move forward with what I know works for me, my family, and my community. And I encourage you to do the same.
Absolutely. And we also, my closing statement is this: we want the older population to also start educating your grandchildren,
Mhm.
having the conversations at home, just seeing how they feel about what's happening.
Yes.
It's a good thing. I tell you, it's a good thing. And one of our other friends, Shay Rhymefest, he's going to come on
Yeah.
board with me because he just wants to talk. He's on the youth side. We did a program years ago called Project Connect. I brought
Hmm.
in the youth. We brought he brought in the youth. I brought the seniors, and it was just amazing to see us sit around a table and have conversation.
That's it.
And
And
everyone learned.
yeah,
We
because
learned from each other.
the magic happens. If you remember, if you everyone knows what happens Thanksgiving dinner, right? Now,
Hmm.
lately we've been fighting, right? Because of all the political upheaval, but that's where it happens. In these very informal settings, we still have a couple of warm days to get out here and have a cookout. They're coming up
Hmm.
this weekend. Do that. Whatever it is that really moves you, as you move that young lady that you had in Milwaukee, sat down, knocked on her door, shook her hand, and you got her to go to register to vote. That's what it's going to take. And we just ask that each one move one.
Hmm.
If you do that, you've done a lot. You don't have to go out and be a part of a major movement and a campaign or a protest march.
Right.
Pick up the phone and say, "Well, did you register to vote? I'm holding you accountable. I
Okay.
want to see your voter registration card."
Let me say this. Okay, we got a few more minutes because I was gonna stop the show, but we got to keep it going. 1 second. Okay,
Okay.
so here's a question.
Yes.
I was with my family over the summer, and we get together once a month and have a great time. And
Hmm.
so we were talking about voting, and my cousin said, "What happened to our precinct captains?"
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
used to be a movement when I grew up in Roseland,
Yeah.
and we knew there was someone on the day of election.
Hmm.
They would walk down the block. Did your family vote? Do you know where you have to vote? Are they still visible? Do we still have precinct captains? Do you know?
But we do, but now we have a compelling reason for them to be more active and more visible. And like yesterday, I got a phone call. Well, someone just walking around the neighborhood and dropped an invitation for us to start a neighborhood block club. So we're
Ah,
starting to see that. And two last things as we have a couple more minutes left. I'm out shopping yesterday, and they had just like a crowd of people, not shopping, but talking about what's going on in the communities right now in
mm-hmm.
terms of migration and the raids and ICE coming in. And we see this happening, and we know it's going to expand. So if they're doing it to them today, they will, I'll guarantee you, I promise you, they'll be doing it to us tomorrow. Have these conversations now. We do not want to be reactive. We want to be responsive. We want to offer an intelligent, well thought out response to
Mm-hmm.
all that's going on. Do not move into the space of fear that will just cripple us. So we want to move forward in a spirit of faith, positivity, and power in
Yes,
direct response to all that is happening now. And your vote is going to be your most powerful leverage item and instrument, as you see in the quote here, that can be used for transformation.
absolutely. Well, let me say, my sister Devorah Crable, it has been an honor. Thank you for your knowledge and bringing that to our attention, our viewing and listening audience. Her website is kypvote.us. That's Know Your Power Vote.us. I am going to, well, it's on our website, Senior
Mhm.
Talk Media/voting. You'll see her information. Click that link. And also, as she said, go down to the red tab and find out what you got to do. As
Yep.
we said, today is Reverend Jackson's 80 plus some birthday. I think 83, 80. I don't want to guess, but it's his
He's
birthday.
been amazing.
He's getting better with age. How about that?
Yes,
And
yes.
so we want to honor him. Let's knock it out. We're at 700. We want to hit 1,000 and go beyond it. So if you could participate with us, that would be more than wonderful. And we thank
Yeah.
you. So again, sister, I'll see you soon. But thank you so much for making me a part and sharing your time with us today. And we look forward to seeing you in the community. We'll be with you very soon.
All righty. Thank you and peace.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Everyone take care, and we'll see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard.